Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who always given health, blessing, and salvation for us, so we can to be here without trouble at all. Secondly, my salawat and salam for our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who always give goodness in the world. Thirdly, I'd like to say thank you for the Master of Ceremony and the people in here who has given me an opportunity to speak in front of you all. Now, I would like to say about Tahlilan. Ladies and gentlemen, Indonesian people, especially in Java, are certainly familiar with the term Tahlilan. The Tahlilan event is generally held to pray for people who have died. Tahlilan itself is a traditional ritual that has lived from ancient times until now. Its existence is very close to Islamic values. Tahlilan comes from the word tahlil. Tahlil is the ism masdar from the word halala, yuhallilu, and tahlil, which means saying the phrase La ilaha illallah. However, Tahlilan no longer only means saying the phrase La ilaha illallah, but rather a tradition in which a group of people recite verses from the Quran, sentences of Thayyibah, and pray for the dead. Tahlilan is generally performed on the first 7 days, 40 days, and 100 days after death. People who follow Tahlilan will usually get a dish known as berkat or yasin book. Berkat and the yasin book are also classified as the cultural forms, namely as man-made works. Ladies and gentlemen, the existence of Tahlilan is related to tradition. From these facts can be learned through history about the origin of tradition in Indonesia. It is known that the ancestor of the Indonesian knew the belief system in the megalithic era. If in the megalithic era the offerings were placed in dolmen, then, in Tahlilan, most of the people present were usually given jinjingan or berkat. From this, it can be seen that the tradition of the ancestor are still used, but today their implementation has been changed, so they are accepted by the community. Ladies and gentlemen, the dynamics of community life is strongly influenced by two things, namely religion and local culture. These two things act on each other. Religions that are not in accordance with local culture will find it difficult to enter or be accepted by society. Likewise, local culture that is not in accordance with religion will be considered as a misguided culture and even rejected by the community. Tahlilan, which was originally a culture resulting from Hindu and Buddhist influences, changed when Islamic influences entered. Wali Songo decided to make Tahlilan a medium of dakwah and invited people to do takziah to pray for those who died and those left behind. Therefore, until now, Tahlilan is closely related to Islam. This was due to the effort of the trustees, and after that, there was no longer any strong religious influence other than Islam, which influenced culture in the archipelago. Ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia can be called a country with a million culture it has. Most of these cultures were born due to influences in ancient times, which were far from the values that are considered true at this time. Indonesia is very much dominated by Muslim community, so many cultures have been slightly modified to be accepted by the community. Many things related to magic, spells, or offering in a culture have been removed, so that they do not conflict with people's benefit. So, Tahlilan is not obligatory in Islamic teachings. Tahlilan is a form of acculturation of Javanese culture with the Islamic religion, or it can be called the Islamization of Java. So, Tahlilan tradition may or may not carried out in accordance with each other's belief, because Tahlilan there is no supporting argument in the Quran or Hadith. But there are several streams of Islam believe that Tahlilan is carried out by families who have died for a specific purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all my speech. I hope we can take a good lesson from what I delivered today. I'm sorry for any words or behalf that unpleasing your heart. Thank you very much for the occasion and your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.